Hello everyone, this is Skitty here, back with another BDSP OU video. And today we are going to have a Sword and Shield Champions League match here. Obviously with BDSP OU being the tier between I Give Up and Iride. And this one is definitely a rather intriguing matchup. Both sides are 2-0 so far in uh, Sword Shield Champions League. And honestly, I'm quite intrigued to see how this one turns out. I think this is their first time. I hope I'm saying the name right. Honestly don't remember the name for sure, but I think it's Iride or it's Irene or something like that. But regardless, they're 2-0. This is their first time really stepping their foot into the tier, and so far they have done rather well here, picking up two pretty comfortable victories against myself and Ty Carter, and I Give Up. I mean, I feel like every time he comes into one of these tournaments, he always makes the tier look super easy, super simple. He just seems to do a lot of things right, and last week was a great example. I think he won his game in like 10 turns or something like that. Like, he got a road heat chip down. To like 9%, and he had a offensive SD scissor in the back, and it was all wraps from there. He pretty much had the game won by probably around turn 3. So, the fact that both sides are 2-0, I think that's enough to really emphasize the meaning of this game. I'm not sure what the state is like between both teams right now. I'm actually gonna pull that up here. Just give me a second. So right now it's 1-1. The score might not have been updated, but it's 1-1. This is being recorded on a Saturday, so obviously still plenty of time left in the week. This is one of the earlier games of the week. But I mean, it still should be a great game. Otherwise, I mean, obviously, both players want to give their team the edge here as we start getting into some of the more impactful games throughout the week. Definitely a 1-1 score between the teams. The winner here will definitely have a lot of momentum going into some of the other games that are going to be played throughout the rest of the week. So with that, that's going to be enough of the introduction to this game. I don't think. Well, there you go. So here is the matchup. Irene going with a double ground team here with Garchomp, Gliscor, along with double Psychic too with Starmie and Celebi. You would have to think. Here you see I Give Up here with a probably what it seems to be a spit up Mew tagged along here with a Latias. He also has Zapdos, which he tends to bring quite a bit. Probably one of the more advocate Zapdos users in the tier. And here we see Starmie leading off against Mew. Here Iride is going to reveal a T-Wave Starmie, which means this is a defensive me, so that might mean that the Celebi in the back might end up being Scarf. Mew is going to Volt Switch out here. Could see. Well, Latias, I don't think it's going to come out. I don't think Latias is going to come out here. Just because. Well, if Latias comes out, it's definitely not Calm Lightning, because obviously it's definitely not going to want to take that Thunder Wave from Starmie. Zapdos is possible, but that's going to allow Gliscor to come in for free, get in its free Poison Heal. Not a lot that I Give Up's team really wants to do when it comes with this Starmie. Garchomp is possible, but I don't think Garchomp kills unless it locks itself in Outrage. And surprisingly, Keytron comes out here. Very intriguing play from I Give Up. Gotta wonder if maybe this is Power Herb and I Give Up is doing a meta check here. I can't really think of much else otherwise why this Heatran would come out here specifically. Maybe he wants to try and get rocks up as Starmie's going to switch out here. And it is Specs. That is a Specs Heatran for sure, 100%. So what Irene, ironically, that's what Irene brought into me week 1. And I Give Up here, bringing that now into this game. Probably took a little bit of inspiration from that game, as a matter of fact. And I Give Up apologizing for the crit there. That probably did matter in the sense that that is what ultimately killed the Heatran, which would have prevented... that stops Irene from having an extra stack here for this Heatran. So yeah, this Heatran all of a sudden becomes rather scary. This Starmie is definitely going to be very much valuable here because Gliscor can't come in on Heatran without the overheat drop, of course. Obviously, it can now. I Give Up, probably going to go into, I could see Zapdos as a possibility here. Yep, he's going to go into Zapdos. And SD Gliscor gets revealed. That could end up being rather annoying, especially with Mew paralyzed. This Gliscor can end up being rather annoying. I Give Up goes into Garchomp. Gliscor knocks here. Gotta wonder if this is 3 attack or not with that knockoff reveal. I Give Up is probably going to try to get on whatever chip this can. This is a rather scary Gliscor. And instead, he's actually just going to go for rocks. He's not going to acknowledge the Gliscor at all. Latias is going to come in here, nicknamed after the late, I don't know what I'm saying, late, like he's dead, MSV. Latias is obviously Dracoing here. I don't know if this is Specs or not. If it's Specs, Draco kills. I don't think it kills if it's Soul Dew. I don't remember the count for sure. But yeah, you have to imagine this Gliscor gets saved. Probably a switch into one of Clef or Celebi. Whichever one you feel more comfortable with risking here. I'd have to imagine. It probably will be Clef though if it's Scarf Celebi because he's not going to want. Iride's not going to want to stack this soon. Yeah, turn 6, and already we've seen multiple threats here throughout this game. The Heatran overheating into Iride's Heatran, probably opening up a possible SD Scizor win here. If I Give Up, that is actually probably SD Scizor. That Mon has very much been opened up, especially if you can find a way to get some chip onto this Starmie and Garchomp. Going to go for the Ice Beam. Gliscor lives and it kills. So that was a Scarf Latias. Yeah, that was Scarf Latias. Ice Beam to Gliscor, fails to pick up the kill. And what the? Wait, what are these nicknames? Okay, I don't know. I understand this is about me, but I don't know why. I don't know these. I don't understand these other nicknames. I understand the last two. That's about it. But yeah, I mean, his Gliscor has been for the most part taken care of. Which is nice. You bullet punch here always. I don't care if Starmie comes out here. I don't think that's really the end of the world. You got a Mew, that's fine with it. Fine into it. As long as this Gliscor is taken care of. Yeah, like this is completely fine for I Give Up. That's actually like still pretty nice. Especially now that this is confirmed not lefties. You're actually this is a mon you definitely need to chip down. And they go hard into Starmie on the Mew. This Starmie is going to have to stay healthy. That is very important for Irene here. especially with the guard chomp now taking the chip from Scissor's bullet punch. I would have gone. Probably would have gone. I mean, it's easy to say from the sidelines, right? But I feel like Starmie would have been better, just because not as much at risk of. I don't think it's Scissor ever U-turns here on the what was it? Turn 7. I don't think a Scissor ever U-turns there. And great play from Irene there. And this Gliscor is going to get healthy. This Gliscor is going to get healthy, and that is a problem for Igiveuponaname. That is a problem. That is very much a problem. Now, I don't think this Gliscor can SD here, but you can definitely save this. This mute isn't going to be all that threatening. You can go to Celebi here if you really want to. You can go into, well, you can't go into Chomp. You could also, Clef is also probably fine. This might be, is it toxic? No, it might be. This probably is toxic. It's probably something to hit Clef with bulky SD Sizz. If I were to take a guess, considering that the Garchomp is rocks and Zapdos is almost certainly the fog. Yep, there you go. So the Toxic gets thrown out there, and the Clefable is now poisoned. So that's, I mean, technically that's another mon that's out of the way for Scizor. I don't know how much of a threat this would have been. This is probably Calm Mind, so it's definitely a good sign here that Clef is poisoned. Irene probably should be going out into, I mean that's a hard play to make, right? But I feel like ideally you should be going out into one of, actually, you could probably go Starmie and mid-ground that. Although that is probably a risky play, but ideally you go into something that can beat Heatran here, because that is probably the mon that's coming in. Or at the very least, Mew's going to try to Volt Switch into it. But yeah, for sure. Like right now, if you're Irene, you're trying to minimize the amount of damage this Heatran can do. That is your goal. You're trying to outlast this Heatran. Clefable, oh, that was 100% a Volt Switch turn. Bit unlucky there for Igiveup. Starmie comes in on the Roost, which is good for, I don't remember. I lost my train of thought there, but Volt Switch there, Scizor comes out. I guess if you're to Starmie, yeah, there's not really a whole lot comfortable in regards to this. Scizor switched out, not want to take the T-Wave, and Gliscor is still perfectly fine. So yeah, this is 2-attack Roost with SD. And Gliscor is still sitting pretty here. Not a lot to... This is probably going to... This feels like a game that's going to get dragged on a little bit. Just as both players are trying to get their positioning correct. Starmie needs to stay healthy, otherwise that Scizor is very much Irene's definitely at risk of losing to Scizor any moment's notice if that Starmie gets too low. I don't know about this play. I feel like Overheat might have been better. Because, you know, this is Scarf, yeah. I feel like Heatran would have been better. Oh, and they go with Gliscor. That is... I don't agree with that play. I don't know. Alright, so Scizor... Yeah, I think at this point Scizor gets to pass this Gliscor. And this might be game, actually. Yeah, this Scizor was definitely always a threat. We're going to do some decent damage here to Scizor, but I think this Gliscor can't run be winless. Barring like a high roll crit or something. But no, this Scizor is defensive. I don't think high roll crit is going to kill. High roll crit would be annoying though, because this Scizor definitely still probably wants some HP. Yep, there you go. There's a... That knock... I don't know about knock. I don't know about the knock. I don't think that move is going to... I don't know if that move is going to save you. That's unfortunate, but I still think you lose. I still think you lose the 1v1. Definitely annoying though. What, crit? They did 99? So, I don't know, actually. Um, yeah, I give up in a really good spot right now. Celebi is going to get sacked here. I think the only way you can get out of this. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. What? That's not a move. What? Okay, that changes things. Okay, so Irene will survive for now. For now, Irene has survived. Scissor will clean up the Celebi here. And Clef is going to come in here to stall out the last couple turns of Parasong. So the question here is, what does I Give Up go into? You gotta go... Oh. Irene's gonna go Gliscor, no? Irene is gonna go Gliscor. Do you go Heatran to ensure they don't roost? To force EQ? Is that the right play? Because the other two, Gliscor will roost on no matter what. And you can't get rocks up because your rocker's dead. I Give Up does go Heatran. And a Calm Mind comes out here. I would have thought that Irene would have tried to double there, take advantage of the force switch. I feel like I would have gone Gliscor. Heatran was definitely a good play there from I Give Up, a heads up play. I think that was the correct play from I Give Up there. Because the other two just enable SD shenanigans that you don't want to get into. So this Heatran's gonna keep on flamethrowing the Starmie. Starmie probably just trying to avoid a unfortunate burn, as it's going to get back up to full here. And now we're back to stalemate. This Starmie can't do anything to this Zapdos, however. The Zapdos should be U-turning here, as I Give Up is going to try to enable another Scizor sweep here. Yeah, Starmie can't really do a whole lot, especially without Ice Beam. I think Irene's just going to try to outplay here. I think that's... I mean, this is an awkward... It feels like an awkward spot for both, unironically. I don't think it's clear-cut yet. Oh! Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's not what you want to see. This Gliscor is going to get big. Yeah, this is why you didn't want to go into Mew and Zapdos earlier, is because it enables these kind of shenanigans to happen. And Scizor is not healthy. Well, who was I Give Up trying to talk toxic there? Wasn't this? No, the Starmie wasn't stands there. But yeah, you knew at some point that Irene was going to try to get that Gliscor healthy, because that's the only way they're going to win this game right now. And they have gotten it healthy, so there's that. So yeah, at this point, it's just, I think at this point it's just more so a matter of who wins between Scizor and Gliscor. That Scizor needs to get healthy, but I don't know if you can force a scenario where it does. I think if Scizor ever roosts, I think I Give Up wins this game. He was getting paralyzed, which is unfortunate. Iride's going to go for another stall and try to see if he can hacks out something. Alright, this is when you get Scizor in 100%. Right? No, it's Calm Mind. Yeah, it's Calm Mind confirmed. You're not even concerned about Flame. Irene does the right thing, goes out into Gliscor immediately to tell the Scizor that this is not the opportunity for it to set up. So yeah, now this is just a positioning game, right? How can Scizor get in for free and roost up and win? If Scizor is able to do that, it has won the game. And probably avoid a burn from Starmie too. So yeah, we are. It's kind of funny because both teams are offense, but yet here we are playing this kind of awkward endgame here. Neither side wants to give the other side a moment to. Oh, then there you go. Oh, SD. And he got blasted. Okay, I think this is over now. Garchomp will just win from here on out. And Glass, yep, there you go. That was. I Give Up didn't scout for that, really? I mean, I guess he didn't have much to switch in on that. Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean, it always felt precarious in this end game. It always felt like one minor mistake was going to give one of these sides the win, and it just so turned out. Well, I don't even know if I qualified as a mistake because nothing was going to be able to come into Garchomp there. I guess I did kind of undervalue this Chomp. I kind of assumed it was Scarf, but I think it was Scarf. Well, kind of. But wait, why did I think it was Scarf though? I knew the Celebi was Scarf. Regardless, I did kind of undermine this Chomp a little bit, and that turns out to be the Achilles heel in this matchup. Yeah, I don't know what's the roll on Gliscor there. I gotta see this. Was it like max fit app? No way, right? That would be crazy if it was. If it was like no speed max fit app. No, it wasn't. Well, no, it wasn't max fit app. It's probably 216. Jelly. And then, yeah, clearly the rest was full, and it's like something like that. Yeah, there you go. I Give Up. What is that? 75% chance of Oko? Yeah, I Give Up. Just low rolled. That is, yeah, that's unfortunate. That Gliscor's out of the way. This game becomes so much easier for I Give Up. Low rolled Ice Beam. What else? Oh, wait, what? That's no special attack. That definitely has some special. Wait. Okay, no, so this was bulky split up Gliscor. This was bulky split up. Huh. Well, you know. I don't know how much speed this is then. No clue, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure that out. But yeah, there you go. Max HP, max split up Gliscor. And it was also probably some sort of low roll. Yeah. That's the game for you. Welcome to Bonds. Ice Beam of Gliscor and have it live on 4. That is the game we play. That is kind of unfortunate. I feel like both sides played this decently well. Like, there wasn't much separating either of these sides throughout the game. I think the main difference was that, obviously you have this BDSP blast score uh, that, lives a lot of ice beam and Scarf Parish on Celebi. Like, that that prevented I Give Up from winning the game right there. Had that Mon not been able to, had that Mon not been able to get off that Parish song, I don't know if Irene survives that Scizor. I mean, granted, the game probably plays out a different way because it's much more of a threat in Irene's eyes, but I don't know because I think the only way you can win is, or even like survive that onslaught is through Skarmy Burn. So yeah, this is the game we play. That game looked like it was going to tilt towards I Give Up's favor there for a second, and all of a sudden it was, you know, that I mean, all of a sudden you see a random Parasong Scarf Celebi, and you're forced into this awkward stalemate. You give your opponent one turn of offensive pressure, and that can cost you the game. That can cost you the game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this was. I think this matchup definitely. I mean, like entertainment wise, I think it definitely had everything in it. I mean, there was early offensive pressure. The game kind of stalled out towards the middle, and then, not to say that it got boring towards the middle, but it was very much a positional game between the two sides, and a matter of who could break through first. And today, that was Irene over I Give Up. So that's all. That's going to be all for this. 27 minutes is quite a long time for something like this. So I'm going to hang it up here. Uh, Glad I could get some sort of review uh, on this on any sort of tournament game whatsoever. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. That's going to be all for this video. So see you around.